Hey guys, welcome to the video. This is actually video 2 in a series that I'm doing for Fall Guys. I'm going to go through absolutely every single course in Fall Guys, giving you tips and tricks for a beginner level, an intermediate level, and then a God tier or excellent level for that particular course. Today's video is going to be a good one. Alright guys, I know that this is probably one of the hardest maps in all of Fall Guys that people have a lot of trouble with. This is Slime Climb. So I'm going to go through, I have the one clip right now. It's not going to be the absolute best perspective on each one of these, but I am just trying to give you tips and tricks, and hopefully this will help out. If I had more time to be able to record all the different routes, I would. It's just that I'm trying to, I got a lot going on, man, so I'm trying to give you guys some tips before it's too late. And so, here we go. This is Slime Climb. This is the entire course. We're going to take it section by section, starting with a beginner run. And even though I do go through here and do a God tier run, or not necessarily the entire run being God tier, I will give you the tips and tricks. When you come up to this first area, there are 3 modes of movement that are acceptable or able to be done here. The beginner level is what we're going to go with, and what I would say with the beginner level is you want to move up between the pizza wedges, the yellow bumper pizza wedges, and move around with the course. Don't try to jump on any of the pizza wedges. Don't try to do anything spectacular. Just run straight around, miss the bumpers, and keep going up to the pushers. Now, on each one of the pushers, what you want to do is you want to wait for the depressor to fully depress all the way out, meaning it's fully extended from the wall. Once it's fully extended, you want to start moving once it starts retracting. That's my tips and tricks on each one of these little pushers that comes out. You wait for it fully to extend from the wall, to decompress or extend from the wall. And then you want to start moving as fast as possible. Now, with these beginning ones, since you are moving all the way around the edge, the slime will have already started coming up, meaning that if you do get pushed off with these pushers, you are going to die because the slime has already encapsulated the lower level. So, when you move to these, you don't want to get accidentally bumped off by anybody else. So, I would take a left side push when running in, meaning that you are closer to the up wall. You are closer to the side that has a wall, not the ledge that is off. Because when you're running past, a lot of people will start moving toward the right to try and get around the bumper. And when they move toward the right to get around the pusher or the bumper, it is going to push anybody on the far edge, on the right side edge, off. So what I think is best is if you take toward a left side approach when running, meaning you're in the blue, maybe the center of the blue line, and not on that pink ledge that you can see. Stay off of the pink ledge. Make sure you're in toward the blue interior so that you don't get pushed off into the slime. It's happened to me once or twice, and it is not fun. That is for sure. So once you've gone through these pushers, you come up next to the probably easiest part of this map, which is the ball roll. Obviously, all you want to do is try and miss the balls. You know, they go left and right now, and they're not centered straight down the middle of the path. So just run straight through. Beginner level, you just take the outside turn, no big deal, and keep running. This next part can be kind of frustrating. There are a lot of bodies that come through. People think that they can jump up from the bottom ledge, which is a very big detriment to all of you. I stumble a couple of times here, but the main point of what I want to get at, just like below when you had the pushers from the below segment, you want to try and wait for this first one to fully decompress from the wall. You want it to fully extend out. And then once it has hit that final edge, you want to start moving and start jumping. You don't want to wait for it to halfway compress back into the wall. You don't want to wait for it to fully decompress so that there's this open area. You want to move immediately so that you're ready for the next jump by the time that pusher gets back into the wall. You want to move immediately once it starts compressing or returning back into the wall. You want to move immediately. So it starts moving off, I jump straight, and I have just enough time, even though that second pusher was faster and able to start pushing. I had enough time to be able to move past it and get through to the ramp that comes up. So those are pretty much the easiest tricks on that. You just have to wait for it fully to decompress out of the wall, fully extend, and then once it starts pressing back in, you want to move as fast as possible to jump across. All right, so after that moment, you've gone up into the next area, which is the Donut Kebab running platforms. Obviously, you want to work more against the platforms than you do about going across. Don't go straight across. The platforms will move you off. You have to run up. You get a feel for it. It's not that hard. I'm sure many of you have played it. It's not that hard to get around. But you just wait for the kebabs to push you through. As far as when you're running through this, if the kebabs hit you, you want to make sure that you are on the interior side. So what I mean by the interior side is not on the ledge side. If you can run through the kebabs, running on the exterior side or the fall off ledge area. But if you're a beginner, I would advise you to take the right side of the kebabs, meaning that you're interior to it. So if they ever hit you, all they're doing is pushing you into the treadmills that are happening, and they push you forward. It makes it a lot simpler. If you are a beginner, I would say that you would want to run all the way through all the kebabs and not have to worry about this jump dive that's happening in the corner here. But run through the kebabs, get all the way to the end, and then turn around and come on. It gives you a straight shot instead of having to turn your camera all the way around to be able to get a proper viewing angle. Because I didn't have a proper viewing angle, I do fall off this first time. But there is a little jump there that you can do that would be more intermediate / God tier. But beginners, I just run all the way around the side and then jump toward the middle of the platforms. So you have to make a kind of far jump into that middle one. If anybody is ever griefing anybody at that spot, standing in the middle, trying to grab and that sort of stuff, try to use a jump dive technique to bump them. If you can actually bump them off, you're not only helping yourself, even if you fall off, bumping them off gives you a better chance and gives the rest of the lobby a better chance. You're the good guy. Congratulations. We'll give you a halo. So moving forward from that, jumping straight on those platforms, there's not too much differencing moments here, but this next part with the hammers is relatively simple. But if you're a beginner, this is the path that I would say you want to take is from the bottom left corner of the slime, moving forward and to the right between the two sets of hammers on either left and right side, and then making a turn around the second left hammer and making a push to the last hammer where the end table is. That is the safest and easiest way to get through this. It is a straight run. It is not too difficult for you to actually run. Middle tier players, when you come to this section area, or intermediate players, remember the jump dive that we were doing for the yellow pillars that we were jumping on the treadmill part. What you want to do is run to the corner where that third left hammer is from this angle, and that third left hammer that you can jump from that corner and do a dive and get up onto the platform and have to run through all 4 of the little pushers. But at the same time, it's much faster than having to run all the way around the edge. So, God tier players, this is a skill that has to be learned. You have to do it once or twice. If you are at the leading of the pack, try this once or twice, but don't spend all day on it. There is a thing called a hammer jump here. You can actually jump on top of the hammer and then use the hammer to actually jump again and dive up to the top. The timing of the pusher up at the top has to happen. You can literally just do this as far as jump on it, and if the pusher pushes you off, you can do it again. It's really not that big of a deal. But usually when I do this, I'm able to jump in between the third pusher and the fourth pusher and get up here almost every single time. But anyway, what you do is you jump on the hammer, and then you use that hammer to give you a increased height to be able to jump between the third and fourth, and then you run straight through. Not that hard. Okay, so we've made it to the pusher section. Let's run it back just a little bit. You're up on the pusher section. I know that this gameplay doesn't give you a very good rendition of this, but You can actually, so when you come up to those, it's the same thing with all of the other pushers. You want it to fully extend from the wall and then wait for it to move back. On these, take them one at a time. There may be a time where you'll have the opportunity to take two at a time, but honestly, if you take one at a time, it is a surefire way to make sure that you make it. The only thing you want to do is move to the next little area. You want to move to the next little safe spot and then move past the next the first pusher and just go to the safe area. So you're at the beginning, you go past the pusher into the safe area. You wait for that thing to fully depress. It pushes back in. You go to the next safe area. You stop. You wait for that thing to fully depress. Then it goes back in. Then you move to the next safe area. If you guarantee that you wait on each one of those, you will never get knocked off. If you decide to try and do, if you think you can get two at one go, you can go ahead and try, but you will not guarantee. If you want to guarantee that you make it through, go to each safe spot and stop at each safe spot. That is my recommendation for any beginner or intermediate that doesn't think they can take the two at the time. So, with that being said, we've moved up into the next area. There is a little bit of an advanced curve here. When you're jumping around this edge, you'll notice that there is no barricade to stop you from jumping from the ramp up into the slime. If you jump from the ramp and dive up into the slime, you can miss the first two kebabs. If you miss the first two kebabs, you're probably going for a speed run, which is fantastic. I've seen someone who aced this course with flying colors, doing the jump at the bottom and the hammer jump, and then doing a jump here. Fastest I've ever seen it. It was absolutely insane. Anyway, props to that dude. But if you're intermediate or if you're a beginner, my advice is to take a left wing approach, meaning you are going to be toward the edge. If you have gotten up here fast enough, the slime will not be below you. If the slime is not below you and these kebabs come and hit you and slide you off the top, the thing that is the best part about this is that you will be pushed back into the course instead of being pushed off into the slime. So you want to take a left side approach here and move through each one of the kebabs very smartly, right? So each kebab on this moves faster than the previous one. So the first one's going really slow. The second one is like a speed 2. The third one is at a speed 3. The fourth one's at a speed 4. And the fifth one is flying left and right like windshield wipers in a heavy downpour. So I advise you to take a left wing approach and be very smart and be conscious to stop your movement if needed, especially on that last one. That last one will fling you so far, it's not a good idea. So you want to run through, try to keep your momentum, but then at the same time, you want to try and pull back whenever necessary, as you can see on that one little spot on the kebabs. And then the swinging balls, they swing at the same speed at the same time. I would just take one at a time. They give you enough time to stop and restart, and then move through. You should get to the finish line, no problem. If someone is griefing, kind of like what I ran into here, I feel like the best way to do this or to get past this is to jump and dive. Just because it makes it harder for them to grab you. If they do happen to grab you, then you can jump through the grabbing to make them not be able to hold you. Be careful when you're jumping through the grabbing, as the pop from the release might cause you to have some problems. But I will say that what you can see from this extended period here is you have one guy who decided to try and confront this dude, and he starts grabbing and so forth. You can see where he tries to jump out of the hold, and it causes him to spill, which then seems to have scared him a little bit. So he kind of just jumps out of the grab and then runs into the qualification, leaving our resident griefer to not have anybody to grief. So, screw that guy. Anyway, guys, I hope that these tips and tricks have helped you a little bit. Obviously, you can replay any part that you want to see. The run that I did, which I will play for you now as a full context, is using the God tier motes. I don't do each one cleanly or effectively, but I do get through a couple of them very, very good or very correctly. So it gives you an idea of what you're trying to do if you're trying to go for a God tier run. Beginners, just try to qualify. Once you're good at qualifying on this one and being able to do a qualification every run, try to throw in the intermediate dives in the corners, right? So the corner of the different corners on the hammers and the corner on the treadmills. Those two corners have a jump dive. The intermediates should probably be taking those. If you can qualify on this, it'll just speed up your time and make you get to the front of the pack, which, you know, could be advantageous when people get better at this. But anyway, here's the full length run. It's very clean. Well, I mean, it's not actually clean, but I enjoy this course. I think it's pretty good. And I hope that it gives you an idea of what's going on when running through this. So since I'm in the front of the pack, I just go ahead and jump off the little pizza thing. If I was in the back of the pack, I would definitely stay running around the edge and waiting for those decompressions. I do take a ball to the face on this turn, which kind of sucks and slows me down a little bit. I don't like trying to jump up to the other platform. Get a little camera issue here. It was a bad jump to begin with, so now I'm stuck in the middle of the pack. I wait for the full decompression, then I decide to jump, which gives me enough time to get across both and land on the other platform. As you can see here, I'm running around the right side of the kebabs to make sure that if they ever hit me, I am just getting hit more into the treadmills. I take the intermediate jump up and from the thing, so I don't have to run all the way around. I do miscalculate my jump there. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it was an unfortunate move. I hit the second jump and move across on this one. I will take the hammer jump. Gives you a full-time explanation. You don't even have to have too much speed. I get hit by the one kid, and then I make a successful hammer jump between the 3 and the 4. Not too hard. You can jump up and miss 2 kebabs there if you wanted to. I do stop once that kebab comes through. You just pull back on the stick. You see me spin around, and then I keep my momentum going through. I have the griefer, so I do a jump dive, and then I make all the way through at the end. Anyway, chat, that right there is the goings on Slime Climb. I don't think I'll be able to make each one of the runs that gives you a better understanding of each different one. I just got a lot going on, as I've said before. But anyway, this is video number 2 in the Fall Guys series. I really appreciate you tuning in and watching. I hope I gave you some tips and tricks. And if you would want more tips and tricks on multiple different courses, think about giving me a subscription. That would be absolutely amazing. Turning on the notifications lets you know when they come out. Hitting a like on this one will help me out, and giving me a comment on what map you think I should do next would be absolutely fantastic. So, having 100 wins, I'm going to go play some Fall Guys. I do play on Twitch every single day, 6:30 p.m. till... I had to follow. I do play on Twitch every single day from 6:30 p.m. till 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's not necessarily Fall Guys, but I would love for you to come over if you ever wanted to talk about anything. I would be more than happy to help you, being whatever it is. Anyway, I have taken up a lot of your day. I hope you have a wonderful one. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one. Goodbye.